Bibian welcomes it with open arms, but only goes 1 for 1. This has created space on A. It should still be fine for Australia.
There's armor and a kit on Jess, so, you know, there's a possibility to make this interesting. The rest are weak, but they can be cannon fodder to set her up. The difficulty is the bomb gets planted, and there are re-smokes available too for long. CJ's got one in her back pocket. Maddie's already out here, so she's going to be ahead of this rotation.
Depends on timing.
If she catches Jess, then the round's done. And she
Round's
does. Oh, nice shot from Megs. Okay, there's still some interest to this. The kick can be recovered, but with lack of armor, now a molly landing just to delay you further. It doesn't get any easier, but don't give up these fights. Give an opportunity for them to get into this. Clock ticking on down. Remember, that kit has been recovered. There's a chance for this one. They try and overwhelm, but it's Artemis in the backside that holds firm.
Every single time you think that they shouldn't go for stuff, they do. And I guess you can forgive them in this round because it's a half buy. But 2 kills come in. You're holding on to an AK. You're holding on to a Galil. I'm really surprised they're not saving it again.
Yeah, especially the AK, right, at that stage. I think just because they got down to the 2-on-2 and they had the kit, it kind of incentivizes you to give it a look in. I mean, we saw them pull off some pretty remarkable retakes.
The thing is, I don't think you're going to get that against Australia.
No, that's true.
They are so disciplined that they're not going to overextend.
Yeah, I mean, despite, you know, having, you know, a slightly different roster than last time, and despite not having time in the server before they got here, it's not like there's a lack of experience here, and even playing together. Jade's been playing in NA alongside Bibian, so plenty of reps against good competition. We know Artemis and Epre from every iteration of this Australian roster, and even Maddie is a bit of an OG player. She's represented the country way back in the day. So, actually, I'm not sure if she's in the country, but she definitely kind of played, you know, at the top level women's CS against some strong opposition back in the day.
Who are we missing then from Australia from normal?
There's a couple of players. Connie played last time, but she was kind of like a last-minute addition to the squad. So yeah, just kind of, I wouldn't say filling the spot, but she obviously brings, you know, with herself
she came out
a
of
bunch
retirement.
of, yeah, it was out of retirement basically. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so she doesn't return.
Okay, and the other one? As a diehard Australian?
Dude, I'm like picturing her face. As Hannah, H's.
Yeah.
Did you know that and you were just like testing if I remembered?
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, yeah, we spend so much time hanging out with them too. I feel so bad. Gracie, talk about the AWP diff being a potential thing here. She does find success early. I will say the way that she plays the off is a little crazy sometimes.
It's absolutely
this
wild.
This is discipline though. She gets the kill and she falls back dark.
Yeah, nice. And remember, look, all throughout that series against Norway, bar Dust 2, it was always South Africa coming back into games. Like they are not out of this first half, not one bit. Look at the scaling out of Jade immediately. Just walking in towards short. Mollies are brilliant to flush them out. And yet, Heart Jess has still found a kill. Bibian with the trade, but look at Avo.
There's Megs going, but yeah, Avo in the...
Oh, okay. Avo was there.
Oh my god! Maybe just runs in and kills everyone.
10 and 1. 10 and 1.
It's ridiculous. I know we talk so much about Bibian go kill, but like legitimately that's what that round was.
And that was even after, again, South Africa finding the opening pick. Please save. Like, there is zero requirement for you to go for this round. You have a kit, you don't have any utility apart from one flashbang. You've got the AWP, it's not happening.
What, they're going for, no, wait, get out of there. There's no time.
There is no time.
It's exits. Come on.
Guys. Guys.
All right, they're giving Bibi her second death. I swear to God. Oh, if Maddie swung and removed them. Oh, she's actually going to go down. All right, they made it costly.
They did.
But they're also 0-5 down.
All right, I'll give them it. I'll give them it.
But they didn't lose their players. All right, Arrow's bringing some energy. They need it.
We got exit kills, guys.
Let's go.
I remember looking at HLTV last night, just as I was going to bed for Australia, Spain.
Oh, yes.
It
We'll
was
keep an eye on that.
Bibian 25 kills, map 1, and they didn't win.
Yeah. Sometimes even Bibigo kill doesn't work.
I'll be honest with you as well. Like this is sometimes a bit of a criticism on Bibian because when we have seen her at sort of like ESL Impact, she does tend to go missing sometimes. So what's really good is this has now been like back-to-back events where I've watched her and I thought this is really good. She kind of got over that hurdle.
Yeah, I think she definitely had some land jitters on the first couple of occasions, and for FlyQuest Red / COG Red, you know, it was a struggle losing such a critical player. I also like on this team, she gets to play a lot of star roles. Trades back and forth. Pixar has doubled up, giving an advantage, but the bomb site has been lost. The bomb needs to be picked up. It's fallen into Boiler.
The rotates are so far away as well.
They're already in the site. Are they going to be ready for this?
Yeah, it looks like it. Artemis has just seen it, but what about the player deep insight? No, not quite. Pixar, again, doing everything. Potentially could get the ace, but Bibian denies.
A 1v4 for Bibian. Bomb goes down. She has a re-smoke if she wants to throw it. In fact, she's going to drop it close so she can play around it. Isolate some of these angles. Aegis forward, looking for Jess, who is tucked in towards Library. She's anticipating a push out from this side, so Jess's angle might catch her up, but when she doesn't see anything, she now gets the info off that utility. The smoke at her back, they're coming from behind. She just needs to isolate these fights, but they're running her down, and she can't quite control it. Too many players overwhelmed. They take their time to show their hand, and she can't keep up.
That's the key thing. They take their time. They see the smoke's up, but that has only been deployed as the bomb's gone down. So they can take their time. They can wait until it fades, and you've got the different elevation swings. The fact that Heart Jess never swings, just leads with utility, keeps Bibian interested. It just facilitates the whole play. That was genuinely one of the best retakes I think we've seen out of South Africa all day.
Yeah, I love the flash through with Pixar sliding through, and yeah, Gracie is kind of out in the open, but it doesn't matter. It sets up Pixar. That bomb getting lost in Boiler really delays them a lot because two players go back to deal with that, and they lose control of the site for that moment. This time, Bibi looks to take point. Good util, it will flush Megs forward, so they get the control. Going to cause a rotation. Pixar starts to rotate.
Look at this. They pushed their own smoke though. Avo's now going walking towards second mid and can't catch off Jade. That should have been a kill. Dead to rights. Instead it goes the other way.
Now you just got Gracie alone. She's pushing through the apartments with the AWP. Takes the close line in case the player's over here. She's going to get the info. But it's still a split of players. Pixar rotates back, moves into short. The rotations are going to be fast up Banana, but it's going to be an AWP as part of it. And Mexico's looking for info.
Why?
They had the info on mid. It falls now up to Jess, who's been so strong. Tucked in towards second, gets that first kill and a second. It still doesn't feel like it's going to be enough, but these two players are fast up Banana.
That's the key thing. Fake plant, they heard them. That's the issue, and now you know that Gracie's there with the AWP. Bomb can now be committed. Molly gets thrown on it. Jade, not upset by it. That was the chance for Gracie. Instead, she gets a second bite at it, but no, it's the nade that does the damage. And if Megs doesn't swing, you think that round would be even better because I Heart Jess got a double.
Yeah, if she just sat back, because exactly as you mentioned, they had the information, right? Because Gracie's pushed down to second middle. You got a play that's cleared short already in Pixar. You know it's going to be B. So maybe just a lack of communication. Maybe it wasn't commed over that we've cleared this space and you can sit back on B.
If it wasn't commed, it should have been.
Absolutely. I don't know exactly what goes on there, but that does cost them significantly. And now they go fast. Artemis with the forward spawn. Megs tucked in the sandbags. They don't fully clear, but the trade is fast. Jess, again, under pressure. They're not slowing down. The Flames will force them to pause. Epo's just charged in. Jess will swing out and deliver that frag. Can't get the follow-up, though. Jade's been really good in these critical kills. Bomb will go down, and it is half HP on one player, so a chance here because it's a fast push up Banana again.
Yeah, look at the boost as well. Are you going to be ready? Are you going to be accounting for this? Yes, you're jiggled by the new box player. Keep your eyes on Banana. Never mind, it's Bibian, so there's only one outcome. There is a kit, there's only one smoke, and now there's only one player. And whilst Gracie will find Maddie with the trade, this feels impossible. Australia in control, Jade on the swing, helped out by the Flames. There is no way through, no route in to this bomb site, so Australia will go up 7-1.
That Molotov is painful. Gracie will get one on the way out, but the round is done. That one's direct. When there's only 2 players on B, they work that out early with the space they're able to get towards top banana. As soon as they trade out onto Megs, it's this clear one-way traffic straight into the site. Isolate that final player. 3v3 with the bomb down on B always feels good.
I think the thing is as well is like we speak about Australia so much and like, oh yes, they have been doing dry runs, like they have been, like that's just been the way that they're practicing. They are a really aggressive team as well. Like they do love to sort of rush everywhere. They can play structured, but they don't mind getting down and dirty.
Yeah, I think Artem's also got a lot of, different notes in her playbook. They've got Viridian behind them as well, who obviously provides a lot of experience. He's been very active within the Australian scene for some time, so he'll have his own ideas he introduces that Australia didn't necessarily have last time. And South Africa don't have, that experience standing behind them, and they're relying on Avo, what she can... Australia have a lot of edges. Avo. Cheeky position. Oh, cleared then.
It's Jade again. Just been absolutely fantastic. Just being really thorough in every angle that she's taken. This is sort of my first time really watching her. I've been impressed. Look at this pushing banana. That's the only thing I think South Africa got going for them. And this is a 1-for-1. This is still fine. And the play down banana has been caught off guard by Maddie. So it is Heart Jess in a 1v3.
Yeah, honestly, considering this team hadn't played together as 5 until they arrived here in Saudi Arabia, I'm super impressed by how cohesive they look.
I mean, it's because the core have played together in so many of these international events. Maddie's looking sharp, Jade's looking sharp, the whole team it feels very strong.
Yeah, Jade's been super impressive. Obviously, we know that she's been grinding it out over in North America, and it's a little weird that we've got like 3 Australians playing in like Esports Impact North America. It's a bit odd, but we'll take it. We get that representation, but more importantly, we get the experience, right? I know that her teams haven't necessarily been at the top of the league over there, but she gets so many reps against the best women's teams in that region, and they probably scrim against, the good men's teams too as well, right? So plenty for it. Bibby doesn't need to see him to kill him. I spotted Gracie on the cross too, so she only gets 1.
This is getting desperate now for South Africa. Like the initial stuff hasn't worked. In that round, your top middle player gets caught first, and you feel like you have to help out second mid, especially when there's 1 kill back from Gracie. But then a second delayed top mid swing. This is starting to become really uncomfortable if you're a South African fan.
Which there's most likely a lot of these days. I want both teams to win.
That can't happen.
Full.
That's not how games work.
Yeah, okay. Now disengage. But 9 on the T side. This is the map pick of Australia, but yeah, this is just one way.
This is one way, but it's also it's not like these rounds have actually been close.
No.
And that sounds horrible, but when you think about the rounds that they were losing in the Norway best of 3, it felt like there was like 1v1s, 2v2s all the time, just slightly edging and favouring out these other teams. Here it has just been a complete collapse, and South Africa will take a timeout, but the individuals are just being bowled over.
It's actually kind of surprising because Norway did put Australia through their paces.
That's true.
It was a 2-1, but the Anubis which was the pick of Australia, went OT and they lost it, which is probably why they banned it here, to be fair, because South Africa won Anubis.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, just by the maths of it, let's. But yeah, I really thought that given how that map, and we've seen what South Africa could do on Dust 2, Mirage definitely had a good half. But the veto reads Australia through. They love Dust 2. They love Mirage. It was like all...
I just want to quickly circle back to the point we've been making. Obviously, I actually think it is them trying to disrupt people. It's them trying to just get ahead of the curve a little bit and be menaces in the serve. They've also got that structure. They've now got more experience.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. It's injection of experience so far in this. It's not like the team is lacking around her.
Exactly. always good for like a once an event game where she just takes over, and we haven't.
Imagine we might. 2 players lie in wait. Jess from above will connect one with the 5-7, and Megs on the spray finds one as well. Jay will trade out. They know this player was here, but she's... Oh! What?
Okay.
The pistol spam, of all things, gets the kill.
A bomb's not down, by the way. 27 through these smokes. And Bibian fakes it, needs the kill, can't get it over Megs. And suddenly Jade, thrown into a 1v4, runs out of ammo and is now running out of time. And South Africa are just running at her. That's a second round on the board, a necessary one for them.
Yeah, a bit of uncharacteristic miss there from Bibian onto Megs. That's the... You guys can't hear it, but the South Africans, well, Avo. I wish you could hear it.
I think they're screaming at
Oh yeah, they're screaming at each other.
Yeah.
I think the Australians yelled back. Love it. Friendly banter between these two teams.
Whilst all that's going on as well, you've got a really serious engagement with Viridian, who's like on the headset, and he's like gesturing like with his hands and stuff, and you just got the screams back and forth.
It's interesting because he's not actually talking to Artemis either. All right. Yeah. That one's surprising. South Africa went into that with a much lighter buy, but the 2 players on site get a kill apiece, and the disengage from Megs is brilliant.
They're always good for one of those.
Yeah, always good for one.
I can't believe Pixar hits that shot through.
That's ridiculous. What even pistol was that? Was that a P250?
P250.
Double dink?
Yeah. Bang bang.
That's just not even. That's not even fair.
That smoke landed really deep.
Oh my god, Gracie! Right in the open. Lucky that Maddie was mid-jump. She doesn't want to slow down. Oh, wow! What an opener onto Avo. They were not anticipating the pace, and now Gracie is under pressure. Drops the HE forward just to give herself some space, but she is overwhelmed. This round is all Maddie.
Yeah, this is just acceleration out the gate. You take a timeout, Australia go, do you know what? We've seen you put the pace on, we're now going to do it back to you. And I think as soon as you see that deep CT smoker as well, you know it's slightly missed. They're going to be worried about Banana. 4 versus 3, HP bar still low, and you've already got this lurk from top middle.
Smoke lands for the retake. They're definitely looking like they've got the good setup for it. The Flames do so much damage though. Bibian finds the kill. Bibian finds 2 kills through the smoke onto heads. Epo closes, double digits, 10-2-half. Australian domination.
Yeah, no contest really, to be honest. Thought the individuals would sort of arrive here, and they have. It's not just Bibian, it is everyone on the server. Jade and Maddie been exceptional. Maddie, even in that round, just getting the 2 opening kills, and it's just the instantaneous decision making. Again, that's a difference that we can draw away from Norway and Australia. It's as soon as they get the kills, they're ready to go, and they just keep going.
What a half of Counter-Strike. Could have been 11-1 if not for the half fire. South Africa always good for one. But this is looking like a complete change-up from that first series you saw from South Africa. And, you know, for all the energy that they had in that series earlier, you got to imagine it does burn through quickly with the intensity of that series.
Yeah, of course it does. And then obviously you're going into a harder matchup because just the way the bracket works, right? Like you're going from elimination game to elimination game. You still got the stress and the pressure on your shoulders of trying to make it out the groups. You're going into a team that was expected to potentially win the group.
What the? Is she gaming with her legs up like that?
Yeah.
I don't know, that doesn't feel right.
I don't know, a lot of
How
players
much
do
reach
it.
do you have that that's able to... Yeah. Alright,
I can't even cross my legs normally.
okay. Weird flex. South Africa look to go towards A. A smoke on short will isolate two players. Artemis will fall back and hold through. Maddie ready for this long play, but Artemis gets overwhelmed. Now they start to accelerate. Jess
Nice.
finds the kill on Maddie. This is looking good. Epo and backside can't get a thing done. Jess is a bit of a goddess when it comes to the pistols.
Okay, and now we're going to get that South African flair of just, again, limit testing what they can try and achieve. Australia should have been prepared for this. Maybe they weren't ready for the acceleration even on the pistol. But look, it's Bibian and Jade. Potentially they can make something happen. Every corner needs to be cleared, and Bibian will take that one every day of the week. But Avo on short teaches Australia a lesson. Do not underestimate the acceleration of South Africa.
Yeah, there she is. You saw her for a split second. She is hyped up.
They have done comebacks before.
They almost brought that back. It was 6-0 down on Anubis. Not out of the squad, and at least they have an eco now to go up against. Stack over on the B side. As they clear the same round, they're running back, but they'll get no contest.
Yeah, I rate this. I think this is a lot easier to pull out than just going for a B play. You're taking the range, you're going up long. You're eventually going to find that no one's here. So that'll be the conversion. It was just against the full eco, but it's still another round on the board that is still trying to make themselves look and feel as competitive as possible. I think Australia also are going to be this team that where if they lose a couple of players, they won't be sort of as aggressive as South Africa. I feel like they will start to save their rifles, so there is chances to get back into the game.
Yeah, I'd say Artemis has a steady hand. Make sure they don't give away any advantages, even when they are so high up. They're going to try and look for some exits here. Something out into short. They'll remove two players. Oh, not quite. The knife came out there from Vivi for it.
It's against full USPs.
Screaming
it's
into the
against 5
void.
USPs. Respect. You get the energy up.
You gotta, sometimes you just, it's like forcing a smile, right?
But now you got to do it against this one. Now this is the one that matters. First full gun round. The utility is here for Australia. They haven't got all the incendiaries, so Banana could be an option.
I mean, Maddie's got no utility. Artemis has a HE. They've done a deep smoke.
Yeah, we didn't see that once out of South Africa.
Oh, Pixar looks to disrespect this. The flames at the top of Kai have given her that space, so managing to get that for free, that molly not going to do anything. A little blow on it to see what space they can obtain. This boost up. That's a good way to utilize a play without utility.
Yeah, it all depends on what this U2 actually looks like on the face of it from South Africa.
It's crazy. They just leave Bibi alone on B and like,
Yeah.
all right, you lock this down, we'll play 4A.
Absolutely. If there's one player you can trust, it's Bibi.
Bruce worked.
And now you're going to expect Avo, which is why you've got this good angle being adopted by Epo.
Yeah, the setup looks good for Australia. No need for Maddie to budge. Avo was aware of the danger, but if they clear together now, there's a slight timing where Artemis is kind of moving back and forth, where they could potentially isolate Maddie. Jade has rotated back towards B. Gracie walks through. Good timing on that peek. And now the swing comes from Artemis out long. His individual fights given over one by one. Maddie eventually flushed out over the edge of the smoke. They double up towards long. Avo and Pixar to try and pull this one back. Artemis calls for the flash. It's perfection, but the spray isn't. Jade at least will be there to trade back. Avo doesn't have the bomb, so she can't commit this way. She could have maybe ran to B. Instead, she's just looking to find the frag. The round's certainly done. She realizes that 10 seconds left, there's just no chance. Bomb collected, charging forward, run down.
At least she died before time expired. Yeah, that felt a little bit topsy-turvy for South Africa. They didn't really know what they wanted to do in the mid-round. It's clear they wanted the top bracket space, but the bomb was top banana. And then it's just one player that dry swings. Gracie gets taken out, and suddenly the bomb needs to come back towards A. It feels really half in, half out, and that can be the danger of Inferno when you don't really have concrete map control.
Yeah, really unlucky timing for them on Banana because Gracie had been kind of jiggling the angle, missed the timing when Jade was there, peeking it, and then she starts to walk forward to get set up by Megs' flat.
It just feels weird timing-wise on that anyway, though, because you haven't got any sped down, which have eventually used to get rid of Maddie. That happens after, almost as sort of a reaction. Yeah,
they're trying to set up a flashbang at that point when you've gotten the control and you don't see anyone CT.
Or just go together so you can guarantee that trade,
yeah,
right?
exactly. There's that deep smoke again that's consistently coming out and making it hard for South Africa to get a read on what's going on. Big Sire has a slight gap, but not the weapon really for taking these headshot fights. Ready for the close swing. Jade has to fall back, manages to scramble away, calling for the support. South Africa, flashbang again, perfection. Jade staying alive and taking names. Jade is doing it all. They still haven't dealt with her, and by the time they do, it's too late.
And again, where's the utility for South Africa? You bought all of this util, and you're not using it. Not even a smoke for the cross. It's just so late. It's so delayed. You know that one player's fallen back in towards quad. Where's the molly?
A few moments for South Africa to build something into this map, but now 8 chances for Australia to take their pick. It's not the weaponry to do the trick for South Africa. Smoke has been so effective. The HE is great though. Maybe they look just to burst into short. Flashbang goes down, and in fact the smoke goes in short, so they're going to go back to the pistol round that worked for them. Through long. Response is quick though from the CTs already here. Jade peeks through, Jade takes 2. Artemis is here as well. You got players on site. Every angle is locked out. The bomb has been gifted to the CTs in their spawn. Maddie catches the lurk. Everything is coming up Australia. Unless Artemis falls. Now there is an avenue if they want to go through to that B bomb site. I don't know if they're aware of how open it is because they haven't seen Bibian. They pause, waiting for this push, and success for a moment. But it's Bibian that finds the killing blow, and Australia look dominant on their map pick.
Yeah, the praise will go to Bibian a lot for this map, but you've really got to compliment Jade.
Absolutely.
I thought Jade was absolutely phenomenal in map 1. It never really felt like a contest there. South Africa, the only rounds I really got were the pistols and the conversions. The energy is felt in the studio, but it's Australia to draw first blood. Impressive stuff from them. Over South Africa, they have to bounce back on D2.
That's one of the first teams I've seen that had like the full stack of notes that's come through. You can see the preparation that Artemis and Rudian have been doing coming into this, and they look so prepared in the server. Like that second half, yeah, there was a little start there for South Africa with a very fast pistol round, but that was literally it that we saw from them. It really felt like Australia came through with a mission to prove, and they basically just steamrolled them.
Yeah, look, they played so much Counter-Strike yesterday, they don't really want to play too much Counter-Strike today, so their aim is a quick 2-0. It starts off well on Inferno, and as you said earlier, they love Dust too, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hear what the desk have to say about that one.
A blinding start then for Australia in this series. 10-2 first half, and guys, I wrote down some very highbrow analysis during that first half. Bibi was absolutely phenomenal. I think I might need this later on in the tournament, so we'll keep it there.
Yeah.
What else there to say? During that first half, she ran onto side. What could you possibly ask for from an individual?
Nothing, really. And again, it felt like they were just letting her have her way wherever she wanted to go. If it's in through B, have at it. If it's up through short, go for it. And it seemed like they found some pretty comfortable spots, so they didn't really have to pull out the deepest bag in terms of tricks in order to get a lot of rounds in that first half. They were really like able to just, with an incision, right? Like incision precision, send BB in, find 2 openings on that V-bomb side pretty much on repeat. Maybe, obviously, like, we're not going to discount the fact of having someone like Maddie, for instance, like by her shoulder to potentially take first contact, considering how much easier of a job that makes it. But, like, it's such a luxury to have a player like her on your side.
Yeah, and I think it's so nice having her in these advanced positions, as you were saying, but importantly, not always in first. Sometimes getting a bit of info initially, and then it makes it so much easier to get those fights and to get those trades. There were 1 or 2 rounds where she literally just ran in and killed everyone, like here, you know, just taking fights too. But in general, I think, honestly, I hate to say it, but from the pistol round, I was almost certain that Australia were going to win this map, because we saw South Africa go for the shenanigans, go for a push down banana, and Australia was so comfortable at playing mid rounds and just reacting to what South Africa were doing and playing across the map. They were really good. They saw the push down banana. They just quickly, calmly came back to A. They realized they'd have a good chance in the post plant. And even towards the CT side there, South Africa would go for these simple plays. And it felt like Australia knew exactly what was coming and how to counter it. They go back to the site and anchor. They wait for the rotate to come in. The supportive flash comes through and it allows a pretty comfortable hold for them. So I think this is a matchup that seems to really suit Australia, certainly on this map, just because they were able to just be really comfortable in so many positions. You just get that extra bit of warning. Okay, we kind of see what's going to happen here. We're ahead of the game, and I mean, they were ahead of the game. That's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah, I do think it's go-to for South Africa, simply because of the limited options you have in terms of being aggressive in the same fashion that they'd like to be, or being as disruptive. And they kind of get bullied as a result of it. They didn't necessarily have the fundamentals in place to the same degree as Australia, and they don't have an individual to kind of match up with Bibian in any case, right? So that does make it hard. I think they're going to have a much better shot at it going into Dust 2, obviously, that being their map pick and all. They will have the, I guess, the disadvantage of knowing that Australia have spectated their game versus Norway just a couple of hours ago. So, you know, Australia are going to have a pretty fresh idea in terms of what South Africa likes to do, which is a lot of focus on aggression through catwalk or through mid on their CT side and so forth. So we'll see if, like, South Africa dares to still play their style as they move into the second map, or if they're going to be, like, a little bit timid. I'm hoping for the first one, obviously, the first option.
Yeah, and I do think they can have, hopefully, a positive mindset, because even on that map, okay, we mainly saw Australia on T side, but we really didn't see the AWP, like, at all. And that's what you'd expect on Inferno, but we're going from the map that's kind of least reliant on an AWP in certain senses to the map that's arguably most reliant on an AWP. So on CT side, we're going to have to see if Australia can pull that out, because I think that's going to be a real key factor. If they have an AWP that can just be solid and just reliable, then I think they will be pretty fine. But if not, yeah, we can absolutely see the long plays or the short, all the stuff that South Africa were trying. So I think that's a different counter, and it's a different challenge that Australia are going to decide. But because these last 2 maps are very, very different in how they play, that's where South Africa were always going to be looking for their success anyway.
They have a saying in boxing that everybody has a plan. Punched in the face. That might have been what happened on the map 1 for South Africa. Map 2, as you said, we expect a different brand of Counter-Strike. Australia can't play the same sort of CS, it just isn't the same sort of map. I guess we expect to be a little bit closer, but is there any reason to deviate from a 2-0 feeling right now?
I think it's going to be, I'm going to be hard pressed at 2-0, but I'm expecting a much more competitive affair than what we saw in Inferno. That feels like almost a guarantee. But no, everything they were doing on Inferno, there's a reason why they're coming from the winners bracket down to the decider map. So, you know, they have things to go in their favor.
When playing close against Spain, I was pretty confident in them, and it wasn't even just the Bibi show on this map, right? Like, as you said, Maddie showing up, and just all
I think JD as well. Like,
yeah,
fantastic.
For sure. So I think it's not even just the Bibi show, which is pretty scary when you're up against Australia, because that's all you need. A couple of other players showing up, doing solid jobs, and boom, they're in good shape.
I mean, it's worth saying for South Africa, they have nothing to lose. I mean,
absolutely.
already beating Norway is a huge achievement. They're playing a team, and particularly an individual, with a lot more experience than them. We know they like their CS when they're enjoying it. They should just enjoy this. Play their own game and not fear the consequences, because they really do have nothing to lose.
Yeah, make the most out of the experience that you have. Absolutely. It can only lead to good things. Like, if you end up losing, so be it. You're up against a team that's favored versus you. You can pull a lot of wisdom from a loss like that, for sure. And that's something you can bring with you home, work on it time. Obviously, like, if you have a 16-year-old IGL, then you definitely have a future in that sense, like, in order to, which is really cool to see. So, yeah, don't be afraid to like, dare to live in the moment. Like, make the most out of the opportunity you've been given now. You're playing a stage match in a deciders game in the biggest tournament of your life. Just play the Counter-Strike that you want to play.
Yeah, and I guess the other aspect is, in theory, you'd hope if you're South Africa coming into this, you'd really want to be saying, okay, well, Australia won't be as comfortable here and they'll have more issues, because that Inferno looked just really well prepped and everything looked in order. But they have played Dust 2, Australia. You know, it's not a map that they've been shying away from. So I don't know if you can even rely on that. I think the rotates will be solid. And I think if Australia were watching that Dust 2 game, which they should have been, I actually think there were the weaknesses you could spot for. I think that B site at times for South Africa was a bit of an issue. Certainly splits onto B seem like they're viable as well. Yeah. So that is the scary thing. I wish I could be more positive because, you know, Avo in that first series, really enjoying it. I think she's probably got a lot of fans after that, but I don't know, it's tough after you see a map like that. Again, should be closer, but Australia showed
the avocado here in map number 2. Dust 2 to follow. Can South Africa salvage this series and deny themselves elimination? Quick, we'll find out.
Map 1 pretty dominant for Team Australia, and now that means that Team South Africa, their life's on the line. Don't look so happy. I know you're going to be biased, all right. Oh, I love Australia because I'm Australian. Like, it's fine, it's whatever, right? But South Africa, they've won the hearts of everyone else. And now they go into Dust 2, their map pick, the map that they eliminated Team Norway on. It would be horrible if they actually formed the same fate.
Yeah, I was just channeling Avo a little bit, you know, just a bit of energy. You know, just send your support for South Africans. We want a contest here, you know. I know Dust 2 is this entire veto just screams Australia. It's just all the maps that the Australian teams play, but very decisive when it came to Dust 2 in a lot of those moments. So they're definitely not out for the count, but they need a strong start just to build back in.
The thing with this and the thing with South Africa is the moment they lose control, it never feels like they could get it back. And the rounds at Norway and the options away from South Africa. And South Africa can be as tempo-minded, as driven as they have been all day, is just that much higher. Whereas like the floor for Norway is here, the floor for Australia is like up here. Like,
yeah, I think that's kind of what we're discovering watching this team play. How much it's not just Vivi, you know, there's so many other players they can rely on. Jade's been an absolute standout. What trades that she brought through were pivotal in being such a dominant victory. I want to see them tested. I do want to see a fight here on Dust 2.
I actually want to see that as well, because we've seen Australia back rooms where all the other teams are playing. The fact that they had to go into that Norway game, they come out ahead 22-20, and then immediately have to play another best. Like that is being tested here at WEC Riyadh, right? But for this now, it's a case of in the moment when your life is technically with the best of 3. If you start bleeding out rounds, how do you react? What's the response? That's what I want Africa. I did hear Avo as like they were walking past back to the...
Because they do have that ability to reset and to really grind. And that's been enough to bring them so far. I'm sure they can write off that stomp, for lack of it. Smiling, you got to be afraid, Australia.
Yeah, you have to be. But I think we have to go back to what the desk was saying even before the series started, and that was to replicate the same performance. It would be more of a, wow, that's incredible, rather than if Bibian replicates things, it's like, oh, it's just Bibian. She was missing. Like, she notably was missing, and there wasn't anyone really stepping up, sort of taking that mantle. We got a bit of it out of Gracie on Dust 2. We saw some good signs out of Gracie.
As well, right, we haven't actually seen Artemis AWPing a massive deal. It's been a lot of prioritization on their rifling, and that kind of actually has been the case in South Africa a lot. And emphasize that AWP and get it involved early could actually have a significant edge.
Do you think Artemis is going to bring out the AWP though? Or
yeah,
because
I think so. No, I think on Dust 2, if they were watching the games earlier and they saw the way Gracie likes to go for fights, I think they'll be anticipating a lot of those aggressive angles, and we'll be able to punish it.
And they were watching earlier.
They absolutely were.
They were over just sort of in like the recreational space. We've got clean feeds over there for them. You've also got the atmosphere being right next to the stage, so you can hear every round being locked in. And locked in is what South Africa have to be. Their tournament lives are on the line here. A place for playoffs kicks off now.
City side for Australia, South Australia, yes, sorry. It's flipped at the top, down the bottom, it's right.
There you go.
It's upside down because Australia is playing. There we go, it's fixed. And South Africa keeping it simple, stupid, it's straight. So over missed window smoke, but not going to matter. They're still able to scale in successfully. It was a passive hold.
Yeah, and that means just out for the retake. Look at how fast these players are in towards tunnel. That's risky from Heart Jess, but Epo won't punish.
Yeah, now they can set up. They've seen this play across backside, and Maddie just taps slides in. It's so fast, but it favors South Africa.
And that's Gracie from minute 1. Didn't expect it to kind of go that way. Australia were trying to set up all of this utility for a clean retake. South Africa are not going to give you a clean retake. I really like the way they kept fighting tunnels there, because even with, I think, Heart Jess falling at the back of sight, you still got this double swing, continuously putting the pressure on and saying to Australia, bring it on.
A couple of flashbangs, all Australia invest into this. Last 2 T-pistols have gone the way of South Africa.
Just doing it again.
Yeah, why not? They have a tendency to do this. They missed a different smoke this time. They hit the window one and missed the door one. How has Artemis won that fight?
Well, it's just there wasn't a smoke on
yeah,
doors.
I guess so, but...
Oh no. Not like this. Don't get ecoed.
No.
Not like this. South Africa, lock in. 2 players are quite low, but so is Gracie.
And they kept flashbangs. They kept flashbangs for this opportunity. Epo gets one, and it's all done. Australia not quite able to get it done. They get 2 cheeky kills and almost a chance there. I think a 3rd kill on that attempted retake.
I think it's so funny that like it feels like every single time they're against pistols, they just somehow like fumble it. Like it's just always so close to being a conversion for the other team. And then after the round, Avo screams like they've just like won like the crucial round in the game. But every round is so crucial. Let's see what these MP9s can do. Fast play out long. Bibian blinded, push back.
Oh, just about gets away. They were hot on her heels. Darts around that corner and space established very early for South Africa. Counter smoke deploy, they really want to slow this down, but no signs of slowing. Jess comes over the top, Artemis will get a trade back, but Gracie with the scout hits the headshot, and they are in with the bomb down.
Yeah, just instant. But Artemis just on this new box, boosted up. You've also got the long player that is being covered currently by Pixar. Or is it? Yes. Jess will help out and tries to continue the spray. Instead, it's Epo following up 2 versus 2. Both players on the SMGs are low. Smoke's on the site, hit in the middle of it. And Pixar will grab one more. 1v1, and Pixar will do it. It's South Africa keeping the slate clean.
Yeah, surprising to see Epo just swing that when the smokers are on the bomb, right? And she knows that play is long. She's got an opportunity to stick the bomb there, and with a low HP, it feels like that's maybe the safer play. Thinks she can maybe catch off this play. It doesn't work out. Artemis really gives it a good shot with a couple of kills there, but it's not enough. I can't believe Gracie kills the player of sitting behind boxes with a scout headshot.
And to be honest, that angle, that one behind the boxes, that was giving South Africa a lot of grief in that game against Norway. I think what's really interesting is that South Africa have kept things incredibly basic. Mentality, all grouping up, just guaranteeing this trade. That's how you should be playing against Australia.
Yeah, say what you will about how messy Dust 2 was against Norway. It was also, you know, valuable learning for South Africa about what was working, what you can quickly adjust. This didn't quite work out. This was successful. Uh-oh.
To do was go mid to B. A gap. Maddie will go 1 for 1, but here comes the scaling, of course, up the right-hand side. Bibian, can she see anything in the corner of the smoke? And whilst the B defenders are occupying the distraction, Bibian will find Avo.
There's still 2 players on B. Oh my goodness. South Africa might just fall. Artemis will make it without kill, but Gracie gets the double up. Still a chance for her. Needs to go back for the bomb, but maybe she is the one that's explosive. Charging in, 20 HP. Jumping around with a knife out. An absolute mad woman. Jade's walked in. That's insanity from Gracie. 3 great kills, but not anticipating that creep forward.
Yeah, she anticipates everything except the one thing that will undo the entire round. Just a walk push from Jade.
I mean, that's you know, we say South Africa's good for one of those in terms of winning those. They're also good to lose one, as we saw. There's Norway. nothing's ever guaranteed.
You got to give a lot of credit there to the B defenders, because not only did they stay alive, but they bought enough time for Bibian to get a clear angle when that mid to B smoke fades. She's the one that shoots them in the back of the head, and then suddenly they're turning around. It's just so aggressive and abrasive.
I think what's interesting there is South Africa just slows down so much that they get this trade in towards middle, and then they kind of take their time. We saw a player before the POV swapped, one of the mid packs had to walk back towards doors rather than just committing as 2 over top window.
I think they're worried about short because all they've done is mollied it, right?
Yeah, but if they just committed over window, they probably just take B.
Yeah, no, I agreed.
Bibi to get that opportunity. Artemis hits hers, and despite Gracie's efforts, it's not enough.
Right, let's see this AWP then. Artemis sharp on Avo. And then we'll put even further utility down to prevent progression in lower.
This is a force buy too, and it's not the prettiest. That smoke is not landed on the hinge either, so there's a nice look over Artemis on the edge, just looking for headshots. Can't quite find it, will fall back, but there's the counter utility. Artemis actually gets the kill onto Megs.
Yeah, it is simple. Again, from Australia, you let them know you're there. If South Africa, the only control they've got is in towards Catwalk, but Team Australia know this.
Jess and Gracie. And this double up in middle, it's going to be so hard to break through. Artemis holding the cross line. You got Jade up close. Even if you find one, getting both is going to be so difficult. Feels like there's no way through, but the flashbang is great. But yeah, there's Jade baited into the angle. She holds tall. Triple kill in the door, slams it in their face.
Yeah, look, a nice try for South Africa. It's just unfortunate there's 2 players there, because flashbang's brilliant to get Artemis full blind. You drop the AWP immediately, but it's just that close network. There's the fact that Jade is unaffected because the flashbang's too close to her. And as you mentioned, that was the force buy. Here comes the eco now for South Africa, and a chance for Australia to immediately equalize things.
They're just going to take their time with this one. Try and South Africa, they've been able to get off to the races here, which took them so long on Inferno, even if it is about Artemis. Spots one on that cross. She won't overextend, you know. She's not going to try hunt these ecos. She's happy just to fall back.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is give South Africa an opportunity to inject even more energy just sort of into their camp.
Here they come.
Timing's good here. Never mind, Maddie just got help from the long player, and between her and Bibi, it's a clean-up on Cat.
Pixar will remove Vivian at the tail end. See, that's how that play's supposed to work. The short players take contact, then you come through as a distraction at the end to steal away that kill. But it's just that single frag.
Not enough money here to get an AWP on Gracie. So it is just going to be pure rifle work now for South Africa. When they did have these rifles, that they were prioritizing the short control quite a lot. And the same was true for their CT side. So it'll be interesting to see if they just run a bit more of a default here. I don't think challenging long's the answer, especially when you've just got rifles.
I'm glad to see Artemis really wielding this AWP effectively.
Oh, they're challenging long.
You want to, Gracie charges out, Jade in the open, blinded. Damage done, but no support. Vivian's just tucked. Flashbang comes over so she can peek out, and she takes one down. Stands her ground. What? She got a 3rd kill.
What?
Vivian just has found a gap to lurk through, so job's not done yet. Artemis hears this scaling, and she should know that's 2 players. Takes her opportunity, almost connects the HE. Goes wide, doesn't quite hit the mark.
Oh.
And Epo not expecting a player that close. Lucky to still be standing. Jess hits the shot and it falls to Artemis. They should know exactly where she is, and she can't convert onto Avo.
How does that fall apart there for Australia? Australia, because Bibian gets 3 kills. Sure, you got Artemis in the smoke, but she's deliberately doing that because you lost that player out short. Epo just, I think, has a lapse in concentration, isn't aware that there's still a player there.
Yeah, it's surprising that she's not anticipating someone that close.
Yeah.
I think the call was that the player was low on site. She has a HE. She wants to deny the bomb. That's what she's hyper-focused on there, and just gets called off, unfortunately. She thought maybe she had timing to throw it.
Oh,
There's
look at the
Bibi.
pace. Look at top mid as well, because whilst we're commenting on that, you've got the push up at uppers, and you've also got Maddie pushing with an MP9. This has to be helpful, otherwise that's the bomb dropped, and Avo, that's a crucial kill.
Yeah, that gets a little dicey. Couple of players are low, but the advantage for South Africa. Bibi's completely conceded long. She's moved into short now. 2 players in tunnels. A is definitely open for business.
Or is it? Because Bibian is lying in wait and is expecting there to be a swing, but her shoulder is spotted, and now she gets forced back by the utility.
Yeah, tough angle. Wanted to play an elevated spot to spot them on the cross, but scaling up on the box means that she gets spotted first. It's got to be the save.
That's a really well put together round for South Africa, because that was Australia trying to cause a little bit of chaos themselves. We saw it so much on their CT side on Inferno, where they're dropping that deep smoke in towards top middle. This time, they're pushing top middle. They're also pushing out long and lower. There was so much going on,
everywhere.
and it was just well handled by South Africa, because they had to win their individual gunfights, something they've been really struggling with in this series. But in this round in particular, they passed the test.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a map of the T sides being the strongest element. So for South Africa, they really want to build up a good haul here. Because you just know how strong the Aussies are going to be when they're on the attack. Spawns. South Africa have definitely shown that they're more than...
Gracie on the AWP, and I know Gracie is like more than happy just to take these wild swings. Maybe they just want to go B. Do you know what? What do I know?
Yeah, it does seem like it. Spawn-based CS, baby. MP9 to defend. Epo hears them coming, gets close though, so she can try and make mincemeat of them. She's done a good job of damage. It's the no-scope from Gracie.
Sure, Gracie, sure.
But Artemis is here. And defensive smoke dribbled forward to allow the other players to cross in. Unless they make it themselves. Vivian not anticipating Pixar had walked past. She had the play.
Oh no.
But it's Jade that's now the playmaker. One more to find. She spots her behind the box, and it's Jade that comes through clutch.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, that round is riddled with mistakes from both teams. And it's both teams' utility that ruins the round for both of them. First, it's Bibian being caught by a team flash that goes through the doors. Means that she doesn't know that the player's crossed. And then it's the team Molly that dribbles down and prevents the plant and allows Jade to get both.
That was a team ollie. Oh my goodness.
And it was that CT flash that stopped Bibian.
That's actually quite funny in like a, you know, sad way.
That's brutal. And in actual fact, it just cancels both plays out. Now instead, you look for aggression up short. Bibian trying to bait in Artemis. Instead, it's South Africa not wanting to take these fights, or at least thinking about not taking these fights, and they go back in again.
Yeah, smoke went awry, so yeah, they kind of feel like they've got some space here to use, and then another smoke's thrown, which she goes maybe a bit too deep, but it's still enough to keep South Africa at bay. Again, we look towards this double setup, but they do want to split A. Maddie out long, finds a good timing to peek forward, but just misses the mark. Avo wide swings in response. Jade on the push spot's part of this, but they're already scaling through. Bibian again has to be strong on the defense, but the T-Smoke is giving her room to work with. Over the top comes Megs though. Completely catches her by surprise. They managed to scale in, and another big kill from Megs.
This is another example of South Africa causing chaos. Artemis and Epo looking to do the damage. This time Epo's ready, but the players up short. It's a kill and a half, but that's all it will be. South Africa finally have some breathing room.
Big moment from Megs there, just jumping through that smoke because Bibian had shown her hand. She'd shown that she was playing behind that and found her teammate. And so rather than trying just to follow her through, she creates chaos. She jumps up, which almost signals that she might even be dropping, and then just flies over the top of Bibian, who can't quite adjust.
This could be an 8-4 half.
Chance of it. This push towards top middle. Oh no, not to the pistols again. The bomb's there. The bomb is there towards top mid. They need to come back and look after it.
Whoa.
Oh, Ever bailed out by Jess, who's providing all of the coverage. It's okay.
It is okay, but again, it's another one of these rounds that they're stumbling on, and it's the ecos, because let's be honest, this could even be a much more one-sided half. Think about how Australia first got on the board. It was to Deagles.
And then it's the 1v2 from Jade as well. Granted, they'd already should have won that round with how it started.
This time they've done the smokes over at B as a bit more of a fake, but already blocked off by Util. Artemis has taken space in towards middle.
They have bitten down on this, but they're not seeing the follow-up. Oh, and Maddie's position here, plus the push. This feels good for Australia. How thorough are South Africa? Are they ready for Maddie? No, not at all. Almost the double, but there's Artemis to swing, traded immediately. But they have the control in tunnels.
Good presence of mind here, because what you've got is South Africa going, okay, and Avo in particular saying, you've pushed in towards lows, you've pushed mid, that means long's going to be the gap. And they've immediately reset and they're just going to go away.
Yeah, they don't have the answers on where the setup is, but it's because there is no setup. Vivian disengages to clear short, so they've got the space to set up for this. It means they are potentially giving some space through. Bibian looking for a fight, but not giving it. Actually, no, she does find it. If you don't give her the fight, she'll take it to you. Put down by Gracie, who now needs to find every single frag, and Jade just falls back. Allows Epo to swing in from long, a good disengage to at least get us to 5.
Yeah, really smart, just to still have that with Epo. Allow her to scale up long, and then you've also got the insurance policy of just swinging and taking the shot anyway. The fact that they give that fight to Bibian over at Cat is just a recipe for disaster. At least Australia find one back to make the half feel and look a lot more competitive, because it was escaping them.
Yeah, absolutely. Even more dominant scoreline.
Yeah, it could have been 9-3 easily.
Absolutely. Can't go out with a whimper after how that series before went. We want to see more to everyone here at IESF.
When I watch them, I still can't figure out if they're T or CT sided. Like, I can't, you know, like,
Yeah.
really good. But I think that's been one of the most convincing T-side halves we've actually seen out of South Africa.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just whether they can now defend against Australia, because that's what they were really struggling on Inferno.
Yeah, this is where Australia feels like they do their best work. And with the raw mechanical skill, it's no surprise. We're going to see a fight out towards long. But it's a delayed one. Oh, look at this. South Africa peek it. They see nobody. And they start to move.
How long do you show their hand here? That's the next question. How far do they scale? Do you reckon they can try and get all of the room before they drop the smoke?
Feels like they can, because South Africa haven't even scaled short yet. They're not quite sure where this is going. Now with the smoke landing, they know. But they've already lost this space. Jess will start to move forward. Spots one towards the car. The flashbang is brilliant. She's full blinded and run down. Did manage to find a kill before she went somehow. The bomb to be planted for long, where Bibi is posted up. PG50 in hand too. She's been raid bossed. Or actually, no, she bought that herself. No armor. And it's a 2-player lead from that. In fact, 3 players coming out from long. Avo pushing in towards short. Now the split comes through, and they can't quite get it done. It's Avo that's finding success, but she needed her teammates to get something. The kit was on their back, and now she has to find these 2 players that are remaining. Evo just tucks. Now she starts to pop her head up, trying to overwhelm, and Avo running out of bullets, running out of chances, and it's Australia that run away with the pistol.
Yeah, what a shame for Avo, because she's doing literally everything on short. She's done everything that is required of her and more. And the fact that you get so many players swinging out long and they find nothing is almost unfair, because you really feel like the IGL has done so much. What a shame that is. Even on that 10 seconds, she tries to just call the bluff, but Epo just jumps up immediately. And now it's a one-round game.
Well, it will be a tied-up game, you imagine.
Oh, yeah.
It's a push through Lois, Wapis, being held very deep. So they'll get a read on this, and they'll just immediately start going long.
Makes sense. It was a bit worrying that Jade was the one with the
Yeah.
bomb, but it's all fine. It doesn't matter. There's no utility to set up South Africa here to sort of go through this long smoke. It has to be on a contact timing. At least they're all here, and utility is missed on shore.
Yeah, they are here quickly, but
Okay.
they're just pistols. Gracie gets one, the push in the smoke, cheeky for a moment. But it's a couple of eco frags for Bibian. And we are all tied up.
Yeah, once again ascending is Bibian. Quickly to the top of the scoreboard, top of the server. Avo is still giving it. Like, every round she's giving it energy. Megs has sold her M4 right at the last minute to get MP9 plus util.
Yeah, playing B makes sense. She wanted that utility.
Solo B with the MP9.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. Deep smoke lands. Pixar gets aggro, 1-for-1. That's an upgrade for Epo though. Oh, they're going fast through middle. They're not going to respect this at all. They realize that that was the gap. But Jess has dropped down, and she's done so much damage. And that's Gracie to spam up Bibian. 1 versus 4. But it is Megs alone with an MP9 on site. Bibi knows that you're here. But she can't win out that engagement. Megs with the headshots. That's convincing from South Africa.
That was really cool, because you've got Heart Jess that takes the contact and the space away from Team Australia. Gracie then goes short to create a pincer, so in case they fall back, she's got that option. And then Heart Jess just jumps up, solo boosts, and sees over the smoke. That was a really awesome round for South Africa.
Yeah, that's the Jess we wanted to see right after her amazing performance versus Norway.
Yeah.
Huge impact in that round, filling the gap that was left after Pixar's aggressive push into lowers. Reading that immediate response that they could push that smoke. So again, what are Australia going to do? They don't really have the economy here. It's probably going to be just some pistols. Are they going to invest? Surely not. He's got no money. But she has bought Deagalama.
Hero Deeg.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know why she's invested.
I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
I guess Epo can maybe drop her.
This counter utility over towards the top of middle is so disorientating. It's almost a taste of Team Australia's own medicine, really, because that was happening to them on Inferno. They have got the space. Heart Jess tucked in the corner, needs support. Bibian, you have no doubts, would clear this, but that's why Gracie steps in to be the first point of contact.
Yeah, nicely done. Now the swing out into middle. They're dealing with these pistols pretty well. Couple of shots fired that do some damage.
Sheesh.
The hot hand, but Avo pushes long.
She does. She does push long. She doesn't get the kill yet.
She wants it though. Maddie hears the reload close. Can't quite flick it. All good.
Yeah, all things considered, 1 casualty, very important. There's only 1 loss suffered, because the piggy bank was starting to be a little bit low. But South Africa have stabilized, they take the lead.
Yeah, look what you done, Maddie. Why'd you buy that deagle? Come on. Got no armor! Maddie! Okay, someone sold her. What's she doing? Okay, what?
No, she sold the armor again.
Okay, well.
Galil no armor in round 17. It's a choice. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Weird that she realized, but then still I don't know the game for a while, okay. Gonna be straight up long, they've got the space, they want to cast doubles up. And now the support's here. Plenty of defenders to deal with this push with. Ebro gets one, but that's it. Tap out, can't convert. It's Avo filling the feed.
Yeah, to be honest, I think South Africa looks so comfortable on CT side, Dust too. Australia are trying everything. They got long control for free, and it's just instant, these rotations. As soon as they get the initial map control, everyone comes over. Flashbangs are supporting over the top of site. It's all too simple for South Africa. I think Australia maybe are resting on their laurels a little bit.
Yeah, these gun rounds have just been so
Flat.
convincing
Yeah.
from South Africa, from Australia. It's just like, okay, well, that just happened. Pushing towards lower, fast scaling in short. Jess is holding, not overwhelmed. Has Pixar who pushed up, and between the two of them, and Avo, everyone is collapsed onto middle.
With that one kill, Heart Jess has now overtaken Bibian as well. We spoke about that as a head-to-head, and it's now coming into fruition. South Africa are 2 rounds away from forcing that decider of Mirage.
Yeah, look at the energy that's with them. It's phenomenal after everything. They're still able to bring this through. Looking to conclude their 5th map of the day and go into their 6th in a row as well.
Yeah. The vibes are immaculate. Gracie's now got the AWP, no AWP in response for Artemis Money, just not there for Team Australia. And now they want to fight long. And Gracie full blind, but Avo steps in to help out on Maddie.
Yeah, the support was there. Surprised if you had like a second player there fighting out, you might have had a chance to get something done.
Absolutely. There would have been a trade guaranteed.
Door smoke doesn't quite fill the entire space. Pushing through the molly, they force the orb off the angle. Artemis has removed Pixar. Finally, an opening kill for Australia.
That's a really important one as well, because it means they can reset into mid to B. It means they can continue on to short. Right now, Artemis is coming back over towards lower to cover, but it's Avo that's pushed long instead.
Yeah, she's in the back lines. Epo has no idea. And that's going to force their hands straight into B. Megs has looked pretty good on the hold here. No smoke on the door. Gracie hits the quick flick. From backside, Megs can activate. Artemis, oh, good night.
They were really expecting that push to come through B tunnels, Australia, and it didn't. It came through Avo instead. As soon as they got that kill, they just kept on going.
Mirage looking all the more likely. South Africa, the guns out, they have not stopped shining.
They've looked, by and large, more and more convincing just as this map has gone on. They feel like they dropped the ball on a couple of rounds. Otherwise, this would have been maybe even a more dominant victory. Here, even in this round, Maddie can't see that the progression has been made from Pixar, but at least Epo is holding it. Avo will trade immediately.
Yeah, and Maddie knows this is player close here. Avo doing everything though. Solo defending on this site right now. Jess is focused on short, but it doesn't matter. Jade does get close. Oh dear, the Mac 10 does convert. Oh. And Maddie, by her side, helps her out. Not out of the woods yet. Maddie with another means that Megs is in the 1-on-2. We've seen her in this position a fair few times. She looked to push this smoke. You can see she's considering it. The T's are holding the position. So she just disengages, falls back. Epo going for the safe plant, just taps it. Sees if that response comes from the boxes, but Megs now starts to ascend. Jade aware, spots her out. HE does a bit of damage. How does Megs isolate these fights? Not ready for the short push. Australia finally finally find a gun round.
Yeah, nice work there in the 2v1. The fact that Epo is just moving whilst Jade is taking all of this contact, being really loud and dynamic on site, throwing the utility, keeping Megs' attention there to guarantee that doesn't fall into a 1v1. Another timeout now being called by Australia. They have got the chance to do this. The money, it's in a pretty decent spot still for
Ava's
South
on
Africa.
10K. She's been phenomenal on this CT side.
As she said, best herself before she jumped back in the server. Complete mental recall what South Africa have had.
Absolutely.
Look, heart each other.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see more than just the one player, right? Because that was the story against Norway a little bit. It was Jess kind of predominantly and then moments from the others.
Yeah.
But this feels like there's more consistency at the top.
Yeah, Artemis has been out-warped by Gracie. I think just the speed of the peaks, just audacity of some of them has really been catching them off guard. And now the long fight goes in favor. That deep molly will force Jade back, and Australia have got to look elsewhere. They typically find success in towards mid, but Pixar yet again holding the angle and even spamming.
You've lost Bibi. 4 on 5 for Australia. Jade half HP, looks to move into short, but again, Flames keeping her at bay.
They're fighting this.
Oh, they want it. But maybe they want it a little bit too much. Jess, she'll swing through, gets the kill. He can stop Jess! Epo finally finds something. 1 versus 3, Pixar low. Bomb in short, and it looks like Avo is on the angle. Epo instead looks to see if she can find the frag elsewhere. Might be able to catch herself a kill onto Pixar, depending on the timing of this. Although, look at this tight little angle. Pixar should lock it in. Oh, she's done. Enough damage regardless, surely. This should be it. The push out from middle, it's enough. Megs will close. It's a suffocation from the Sapphires as they take their map pick.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that guy, but I am going to bring it up. In that round, again, it was another team flash from Team Australia that actually sets up Heart Jess on that angle for that 3K. So it's Australia not only making their own mistakes, but also just bolstered by that mental reset. South Africa look unbelievable on Dust 2, and that sets them up quite nicely for Mirage. It's similar maps, just in a different order. And now, going on to Mirage, I really don't know what to think.
Yeah, it's hard to call. I mean, South Africa had some struggles on Mirage earlier. There's no doubt about it. So I don't think Australia are going to feel out of it by any measure. I know they've got a very strong Mirage as well. It's one of their best maps, in fact. And I think, you know, in this sort of series is where they are going to be tested a little bit in terms of they've not had a lot of reps in the server together. And I think that is showing in some of those moments, as you highlighted, with the utility, with that need for coordination. Because on the other side, what we've been praising about South Africa so much is how cohesive they have been. Let's hear what the desk has to say, because now we're going all the way, guys.
Yes, indeed, Mirage required to decide this series a vibrant performance from South Africa. We thought they were done and dusted. No, they come back, they shock us again, they take Dust 2 fairly convincingly, actually, that second half performance. Guys, what just happened? I didn't see that coming.
Again, just solid performance throughout from everyone from South Africa. I think we saw the best performance out of Gracie that we've seen all tournament. Again, we saw promising signs in the match previously, obviously versus Norway on Dust 2. She kept that going into this Dust 2. And again, Heart Jess, fantastic towards the closing end of the games. Avo, again, just incredibly consistent with her output. Overall, just a solid play from South Africa, and they were able to play their game. They were not afraid to take risks. We saw Pixar running into the lower dark. We saw them taking space, playing well. Simple as that, really. And Australia just weren't able to match it. But what we expected out of BB, for instance, to kind of be that indomitable force or the immovable object, they actually managed to move her.
Yeah, I think you could see the issues for Australia early in this CT side, because Inferno as a map, as the first, they looked very comfortable on, and the rotations, I think, are a lot easier to figure out, because you have pretty tight choke points in general. You can normally get players in there in time. The tough thing with Dust 2 is, if you are playing back towards the sites, rotating is basically impossible. You kind of have to figure out ways to play retake on A lot of the time, or you maybe need some info elsewhere. And I don't think Australia always had those rotations 100% down. And then on T side, I think you just saw maybe a lack of comfort on the map for Australia at times, because we would see them maybe swing a little before smokes, or we'd just see them not quite ready for certain angles, not quite ready for certain plays. And so all those protocols that we praised them for on Inferno, clearly not quite here as much on Dust 2, whereas for South Africa, they looked right at home.
I mean, it's got to be mentioned as well, in that first half, Australia did win an eco. They almost won an eco 2 rounds before and massively damaged the money. Without those 2 rounds, this isn't close. This is dominant. South Africa would have smashed them.
Yeah, and obviously massive confidence booster as well. It's good to see that we got to see not even only a more competitive side from South Africa, but yeah, as you said, a dominant showing from them, which we didn't really see in the cards. Obviously opens up discussions a lot more going into a third map, even though it is Mirage, which wasn't their best map in the previous series. But yeah, no, that bodes well for South Africa. Obviously, they couldn't ask for a better scenario, and I feel like they really took it to heart what you mentioned right before we were closing, before the second map, that this is possibly your last map that you're going to play on this stage in this tournament. You know, let go of all the pressure, just have fun with it, play Counter-Strike the way you like to play Counter-Strike, and see what happens, and it worked out beautifully.
Yeah, and I even think, aim-wise, I didn't see problems for Australia on that front. I actually think they were still looking pretty sharp. It's just you could see how uncomfortable they were in certain
Util-wise, there were definitely a couple of instances where you had, I'm not sure if it's like due to like comms getting mixed up, or maybe somebody just getting a little bit eager, or just having a different thought process as to what's meant to happen in a certain like hectic situation than their teammate. But yeah, I think we saw it as we, or you mentioned it as we saw it on the highlights as well. Like a couple occasions where you're ready to swing long, the smoke hasn't popped yet, and you still have players like further back standing with util in their hands. Just not very cohesive, not very like well thought through, which is such a like such a polarizing picture compared to what we saw in Inferno, where everything just seemed picture perfect.
Let's stay on those CT sides from Australia, because we spoke in the preamble, in the pre-game, about how they haven't got much practice time. Anything they do have is predominantly theory. You can't theory craft playing CT sides in different situations. You just can't do that. You can only play on the server and then build up that chemistry, watch rounds back. If this happens, how do we move? How do I react to my teammate? They're probably playing sites together with people they've never played before. And I think we saw that in Dust 2. Mirage, could it be the same story? Because remember also, they didn't play a CT side in Inferno. They smashed T here. Mirage, if CT looks like that, I am a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I don't think it should look like that. Understandable, and people just have so many reps on Mirage nowadays. Like, Dust 2 maybe was out for a bit. Maybe you're not 100% up to speed on it. I do think the interesting part, though, is freedom do we actually see from Australia? Because we saw on the first map Inferno, I wouldn't say individually there was a crazy amount of freedom. It kind of felt like the structure and the team play was there, and that carried them through. On Mirage, if Bibby wants to just call for plays and just say, hey, I think I can get a fight at mid, I think I've got an advantage here, she can do that. I don't know how that team, though. That's what I'm curious about, because I feel like Artemis kind of wants this team to be a little more focused on just working together and solid trades. So I think that'll be, because if I were Bibby, I would be very tempted to have some rounds where I say, okay, we're struggling a bit. I'm just going to take focal point, and I'm just going to make sure.
What we saw in the matchup that South Africa had versus Norway, one of the things that they did struggle a little bit with was maintaining mid control over. And if Artemis's approach to the map for the side of Australia is to kind of play as a bit of a group and kind of move together, similar to what they did on Inferno, it could be a really, really big positive for them, where they're still going to be able to work as a unit, or move as a group, and still be able to get pretty vital areas of the map that they can, play out from. And from established mid control, you could potentially let, individuals kind of strave off, go about their ways in different directions, possibly. Again, if we're using transitive property, this should be like a pretty clear, or a pretty easy game for Australia, because they beat Norway 13-4 on Mirage, and Norway beat South Africa pretty handedly on Mirage, therefore, right? But obviously CS doesn't really work that way, but I don't think we have to be worried about Australia necessarily not having a good idea of how they want to play it. I think what you said as well, Mirage is probably that one map that every Counter-Strike player just has so many reps on now that they'll have a good idea of how to play it or how to rotate or how to play within a team on that map, even though they haven't played together all that much.
Yeah, and I think even there on Dust 2, there were moments where it looks like the players on the initial bomb site holds, for example, they looked like they had a decent idea what to do. It kind of felt like the cohesion after was oftentimes the problem. Like we saw the round where the initial B anchor looked pretty good, a lot of damage done, kept them in the choke point of the tunnels. Then you had the player from mid rotating over and helping out, and then suddenly you get sort of team flashes going on, and craziness. Like, so I don't think we'll see that as much on Mirage, and I think we do still was at least the individuals still looking pretty good aim-wise, and I think I still got that. You know, Bibi still had a solid map, and I think that's despite her getting caught off guard where it's like she can get maybe one kill, but then the backup or the nades aren't there. You know, kind of getting caught out sometimes with players just jumping through smokes and not having the support. That shouldn't happen as much on Mirage.
If you're a leadership figure for Australia, what are you saying between the second and the third map of this series?
And doing Australian.
Alrighty.
Just go up deep.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep
Just go up
calm.
deep.
Just gotta keep calm and keep pushing forward.
We kind of lost it at the end.
Yeah, lost it at the end. In a, I don't know, Crocodile Dundee.
There we
Something
go.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. I haven't heard Sponge. I haven't been near Sponge in you know, near enough time, so
On
it's actually
purpose.
haven't, you know, popped into memory. But yeah, I'll work on it for the future if Australia makes it further. Otherwise, I'll have to figure out what the South African accent is. So
Oh, God.
we'll see. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like their chances for South Africa. The
Yeah.
biggest thing for me, I need to see quicker rotations on their CT side on Mirage. I think that's one of the things that was really good for them here on Dust 2. Again, they were able to kind of, again, swarm Australia, not give them any sort of like comfort or any sort of time to actually get into proper positions or feel good about where they're at versus Australia on Mirage. That's a massive, massive positive because they didn't do that to Norway, and Norway ran away with it as a result.
Yeah, and I also think if I was coaching Australia, I would say this map actually suits us more in a way because on Inferno, our rotations were on point. Clearly, Dust 2, it's been a great map for South Africa. We've seen that. That's not a problem. And on Mirage, it is a much more dynamic, but the rotations shouldn't be as tricky as they are on Dust 2. On CT side, for example, you can pretty quickly get between sites. You can even try and just hold mid aggressively so that you can get back to the... I expect to see a lot more of that from Australia. And so I think I'd be saying, okay, Dust 2, kind of an anomaly in that sense in the series and team play, which we saw on Inferno, which they should. If you're leaving a map as a decider, you have to have at least decent fundamentals on it. They should be confident that they can still come out on top because that was really the main difference for me between the first map and the second.
Mirage then will be our playing field. Winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home.
The energy reserves run deep for South
They
Africa.
do.
After 4 maps where they got absolutely clapped on Inferno, they come to their map at Dust 2, and they're the ones that are in the driving seat. They run over Australia, who looked lost, frankly, which
Yeah.
was a little surprising given the caliber of players, but somewhat forgivable given the lack of reps together as a team. But now we go to Mirage branding. We've had the confirmation that Australia won the knife round as well. So I look at this and I feel that Australia should be favoured going into it, as the Des said, just based on past results,
Yep.
based on it being Mirage with Australia and
Yep.
one of Bibian's best maps.
It should be, to be honest. I think it's really good for South Africa to have taken that map of Dust 2, because it just means it will give them confidence. But we did see the frailties of South Africa against Norway on Mirage, and yeah, it was tight, map 2, but now we ask the question, how much can you really learn and reset when you go from one best of 3 straight to another? What has Avo learned?
All right, we're going to get an A execute. You can see smokes, flashes as well. However, we have Bibian under dark with dual Berettas, and she's going to have to deliver here because there's...
You have got Maddie that is providing Overwatch. Bibian's actually repositioned. She's now up, holding close. And we'll get the first. And Maddie provides for Team Australia. Bibian now looking to be pressured, but she thrives within it, at least for a moment.
Yeah, and Maddie goes down as well, so there's a chance here. Jess, we know what she can do with the pistol. She tries to scale in, and now it's a double up in towards CT. They take the space, and Jess takes names. Artemis is forced back and run down by Megs. First 2 kills went Australia's way, but the rest have all been South Africa. And they're just going to go to B.
Yeah, they played this brilliantly. All this mid-round, every single time they're going for a kill, it is with 2 or more players. They are guaranteeing that it's always an unfair fight. And now Jade has got to do everything, and look at this position from Heart Jess. It is unbelievably difficult.
Yeah, sure, Jade will be considering it as a possibility, but I don't know. It's one of those ones you don't often clear. So I think... Oh, she will! And she recovered that kit. Keep that in mind. She's got everything she needs to get this done. But she just needs to find Megs. And the plant position is going to indicate that App's play. Time is ticking. Megs runs out into the open. Jade hits the flick. And again, she clutches for Australia.
I cannot believe she clears Heart Jess in that corner. I think it was a con for a teammate, just to be thorough, just to check the corner. That is ridiculous awareness from Team Australia, and that already is a backstab.
What a round from Jade. I mean, Australia feel like they've earned it with the first 2 kills coming through, but South Africa do so well to deal with those 2 players and then take the control of the CT, and the call to go B is spot on.
Yeah.
Brilliant from Jade.
Oh, no.
Oh, back to
Yeah.
regular scheduled smoking.
Or not, really.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And the thing is, again, I don't think they would be aware that it is missing so frequently.
I certainly don't know this. Well, actually, they'll realize quickly when
They
they
know
see
now.
it. Molly under window, and a lot of teas here. Bibian is top middle, though. What was top middle? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this isn't Nico, guys.
This is now also an M4 recovered. You can see immediately that Gracie's got it.
At least Esports taken the space into apartments, so it means they can now reinforce that A bomb site. They've got the read that it should be going here.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Artemis is pushing in towards top middle, but at this point, you've got to leave. You have to reset, and you've got to reinforce A. At least the smokes will telegraph it.
Yeah, she's going to arrive in time, it does look like. Maddie, that's a good line. Finds that first kill. She's brought down low. Artemis tries to peek through the edge of that smoke. Can't get it done. And so bomb looking to be planted. Maddie edges forward. Sees a few players. Flashbang doesn't matter. Avo actually hit by that, but doesn't deter her from swinging. Still finds the frag onto the low HP, and Epo's not in a favorable position. She'll pick up that weapon off the ground. So South Africa, another successful force buy back. We saw them do this to Norway earlier. And it's going to have to just be the save rifle.
Yeah, and that is a really nice little recovery. That was Bibian also just in top middle. The fact that they're able to reset, spin around, get the kills, and then just group together. They've been doing that all pistol long. So honestly, it felt like they deserved the pistol, but this one feels just as sweet because the economy, it's now worst case here for Australia.
He didn't even catch Evo got caught at the end, so that's really rough. The timeout comes through immediately. Australia actually will enjoy having this moment because they have forced into this and they get to actually chat about the setup. It's really interesting. I've just been watching, you know, when they take these pauses. It's Viridian being incredibly vocal towards Jade, I think, on the end.
Yeah.
So I wonder if she's actually taking on a lot of the responsibility.
I mean, it's also the case of him just like talking down the line because he has
I
to borrow
suppose so,
a headset,
yeah.
right?
Oh.
So they have to. He doesn't have a headset, so they have to.
Oh,
he has
I
to take
see.
a headset, so he's taking Jade's.
Okay. Okay.
But
well,
he is being really like involved
yes,
with it.
absolutely.
He's taking every single
'Cause
second
yeah, I
as
guess
well.
he can like lean over her, and I thought,
Yeah.
wow, he's really having a lot of words with Jade. But no, okay, it's because he has to lean in to grab the headset. Smoke lands. Oh, Vivian. That is a sharp shot. Avo removed. Don't want to give these pistols too many chances, but they scale quickly into short. Two defenders lie in wait here.
Yeah, and Bibian's rotated over as well. This is a good read out of Team Australia. South Africa, they slow down the pace. They look for Gracie to get involved and get a kill, but it's Heart Jess instead that deals with Jade and now put on notice that there are players in ladder. The swarm, the convergence comes in on B.
And Vivian got another, but they've lost both these B players, and that might just be enough. Smoke goes forward. BB looking for the opportunity. Spam. Just to keep them at bay, and they've still not got the bomb down, but Jess! What? She can't believe it.
How do they line up? How do they line up there? Like, I understand two of them, but the third is just through the box on the player that's trying to cross through to market door. She can't believe her luck. Her stats as well must be so inflated because, like, I swear, every eco round she gets like 4 kills. It's actually ridiculous.
How did she get through that? That's outrageous. Well, that puts the force spy to bed quickly. Australia have to eco this. Flashbang for Artemis. What do they want to do here? Are they going to flash over top middle? It feels like, I don't know, she's towards CT, so she might wait and see what the response is. Hold on to that. Vivian looks and finds, but not what she hoped for.
Not ideal. And now the push comes in. Ramp Pixar's holding. You got Artemis here and towards Connector. You feel like it'll be cleared out immediately. This is all fine and dandy here for South Africa because not only are they getting info, they're also just claiming all the kills, and there isn't a single one back in response. Maybe there'll be, not quite. Avo will make it so that it's spotless from South Africa.
Absolutely screaming her heart out there. Oh yeah, is what she just screamed.
They need to keep this up though, because this team is so based off momentum. Like, this is such an incredibly like momentum heavy team. They need to keep on going. And now we're going to go back to another execute. They were saving it for these do or die moments.
Here it comes. Smoke's over. They start to scale in. Maddie fully flashed behind default. Does see them moving forward, but she might get caught by the sandwich player. Just trying to tuck in a ninja. Counter flash. Oh, it looked good for a moment, but she's still unknown. Vivian able to get one. How does Maddie double up? She's done everything she needed to do. Vivi's low. Eventually, Maddie is flushed out. It's not out of the woods yet with Vivian being such low HP. Can they isolate Epo? No. That's the bomb thrown forward. Megs, a 1 versus 3.
She's done it before.
Definitely achievable. Sticks the plant. Remember, Bibi low. Artemis on the stairs. Smoke surely fading soon. HE really good. So much damage done, but the spray doing even more. Bibian doesn't need to see him, we know this. And the wide spray can't connect. It's low HP, but it is Australia winning it out.
Yeah, and that's important. I think that there's so much discombobulation going on in the bomb site, especially in a LAN environment as well. You can't hit everything. And then as a result, it's the counter flash in from the connector players, and it keeps that player at Ninja alive for just guaranteeing that kill. Oh dear, suddenly all the attention gets taken back. You're then just looking at your crosshair, this side, that side, like 180s consistently. You have to be an owl to be on point on the A-bomb site, and Australia just inflict the pain.
At least that wasn't the Discord, you know, the server IPs and passwords.
No, we're good.
How are your Delta ticks going?
Only no Sigma.
Artemis force back. The ult is in Gracie's hands, and it's a fast crunch, and it's Jess, of course, lighting up the feed. Vivian in window gets that kill back. Defensive smoke deployed. Epo feeling the pressure. She's being pinned from every angle, and she can't deal with Megs.
This is awesome. This is a really good pace change here out of South Africa. Bomb can go down for free, and now Australia got a decision to make. 4v3. Oh, with a DC, never mind your saving.
Oh dear, that's not useful, and Vivian goes down. She would take that into her own hands, thought maybe she would have a timing on that push through. Unfortunate disconnect. Oh my god, maybe it's not out of the woods yet. If that DC hadn't happened, you believe. But maybe there's still a chance. Maddie is so low. Can't believe it's another lineup that gets it into this position. She has no read on Gracie's spot, and yeah, time alone is going to win this round.
Out of all of the chaotic moments, there is one moment of calm, and it comes from the most wild player on South Africa as well. Gracie, with the patience, just jiggling, seeing that no one's on the bomb, no one's there. That's absolutely fine. They win the 1v1 in the end. It is a really unfortunate timing for that disconnect. Maddie gave it a good go, but South Africa will claim the round.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I mean, I don't know if they would have overcommitted on the peak if it hadn't just been Maddie in the 1v4 as well. So
True.
Part of that is she's given that opportunity. Lights go on. Oh, they're doing a little wave. I don't know how they keep this energy up. This is their 6th game in a row. I get wiped out playing like, I don't know, 4 facets, I guess. That's about where I'm like, okay, if I'm not winning these, I guess they're winning. And when you're winning, you just want to keep going.
Yeah, true. Go next. Easy dubs. Australia, it feels like they really wanted to sort of get this done, get this over with as well, especially with how convincing Inferno was, especially after that grueling day 1 yesterday. And now you're down a number of rounds. You've got elimination staring you in the face. You lose Mirage, it's over. Not just for Australia, but also for South Africa. These teams are leaving everything on the line. They are holding nothing back.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Australia, that you came into this series and you're feeling it, you are the favourites, absolutely.
Yeah.
You dominate Inferno. It's an 11-1 half, right? No, 10-2 half. Absolutely ran over them. And the South Africans bite back on Dust 2.
There's so much resilience on this team. For a team that is so sort of almost inexperienced, especially as a core, especially as a team that doesn't have the reps in big international outfits. Australia is definitely one of them that has competed time in, time out for IESF. That they always expect to make playoffs almost as a minimum. Alan spoke on the desk about fairy tales, and currently this is one that is coming to reality.
Victory it would be if you're able to come through and win 2 back-to-back elimination best of 3s. You've been the underdog in every single moment. It does look like we've got Artemis back in the server. Everyone seems to... Come on, Megs.
Megs won't.
Come on, Megs.
They're all looking at her like, come on, Megs.
Guys, you're out of sync. Here we go. Megs, come on.
It's not happening.
All right, everyone. Meggy Waggy letting the team down. It's crazy how they can just have this energy. I mean,
you've also got to like bear in mind, right, that you have to. If you're Team Australia, you can't look at it. You can't think about it. You
exactly.
can't. But the thing is, you can't ignore it because it's not only hand gestures. It's just the screaming.
It's
even against ecos, they are just yelling at you.
Yeah, and we don't have like I don't think the big noise cancelling headsets here, that's for sure.
Look at this as well, right? It is 4-2. We're only 7 rounds deep. I know the game has still got a long way to go. Bibian on 6 kills. A number of those came in the pistol. Maddie's on 9. Everyone else is like 1 and 2.
All right, so we have the saved rifle for Maddie. What's she up to? Currently, she's pushed down ramp, but Pixar fully aware of this. So if Maddie falls here, when Maddie falls here, that should be, you think, the round, unless something crazy happens. Oh my, quite possibly.
You just got a group now. It doesn't matter where you go if you're South Africa, you just need to move together and you need to make sure it's a 3-on-2. That's why these players are moving back. Exec, Bibian is walking forward. However, she's only got a USP. Maybe she can recover this rifle. Knifes out, rifle recovered. Oh no, they get caught! And Bibian will swallow them up, and suddenly something crazy really is happening. And Molly in towards Palace. Pixar left alone, and the bomb is isolated, and so is
She has the advantage if they don't have any armor. But now they've grouped. Pixar walks around the corner. Bibi on the off angle. Can she convert the spray? It's Messi. Jade just has the P250. She can't recover these weapons. Molly's good to give some space for Pixar to work with. Further utility just to collect the bomb, but time.
You gotta go big
20
now.
seconds.
Knife out, run. And the thing is, JD will know this. So you gotta decide, where do you want to take this angle of
Does she
attack
have time?
from?
I don't think she does.
She might not.
20 seconds to
No,
wrap?
she doesn't.
There's no way.
She doesn't.
This round's done. Bibian, from South Africa's perspective, that is hilarious. If she goes down off the time, that's even worse. Oh no. She won't. It's okay. I can't believe it. Something crazy did happen.
I thought they had more time.
The hero rifle didn't do the trick. It was the pistols. It's Bibian. And the crazy thing, if you're South Africa, right, you've got these 2 players that are getting ready to go into A. They group up, as you say, and you see this M4 suddenly disappear in front of you. You panic. You're like mid-jump. You're swapping from your knife to your gun, and in that moment, that's when she strikes.
I can't believe it. It's almost like the Metal Gear Solid like exclamation mark just appears over both of their heads.
Oh no.
Complete disbelief. And the side quest collected turned in by Bibian. Suddenly it's a 1-round game, and now she's got the confidence to push under.
The great ecoers get ecoed. Bibi doesn't slow.
And she can hear all of this.
She hears it all. She sees it. She's calling it in. Bibi out of the back lines gets one on site. They're holding. Epo doubles up. Avo will find the kill, but Epo's done the job. Bibian's still crunching through. Avo, something to say. Almost a chance there. Good damage, but too late.
What I will say is it's these break points, it's these moments, it's these sort of ecos where it would put a lot of teams away. It would really affect them mentally. South Africa is not one of those teams.
Tied up, but South Africa are about to be put on the back burner.
It feels like we've played like 30 rounds of this Mirage and it's been 8.
I know. It does feel very similar to Just 2 in a way, actually. Group up lower from the pistols.
This is just a pistol strap.
Yeah, she's in the position to deal with this. Not going to overextend. She doesn't make those mistakes. Instead, looking for deal with this window boost. Don't know if she spotted that other player. No, definitely didn't. But knows one is here and now sees 2. She's so safe, so careful. Easy triple for Bibi.
And now Team Australia, they're the ones that are getting loud. They're the voices that you can hear as they have silenced Team South Africa off the back of that eco. And look at how safe that was. It was so diligent. You've always got sort of that backup plan. And even if that rifle is dropped, it can be recovered immediately by another player stepping in.
It's a perfect lesson on how to play against pistols from Bibi there. She never overcommits. You can even see her thinking at each moment, kind of, how can I make this one-on-one.
She's got 7k here and an AK. Artemis has got an AWP. You've still got 2 MP9s here for Team Australia. This buy actually favours the T side.
They must have brought them over, I think.
Yeah, they did, but...
Yeah. With that MP9, drops the defensive smoke, just about gets across. She needs that support. Artemis has arrived. She finds her mark with the AWP. Epo wins out the fight in the Avo. In fact, Jay caught out. Maddie looking for this lurk. How do you get the bomb over? That's the big trouble here, Vin. Oh,
Yeah.
leg shot.
And now Molly, and Outforce picks her back into the open. She's really worried about short. She's got every right to be because Bibian is there. Maddie's been dealt with. Artemis, oh, that was close, but Pixar runs out of ammo. So Megs, familiar feeling, thrown into a clutch, but not even allowed to attempt it.
Yeah, Bibian there just to close it. South Africa, I feel like they maybe found some space there onto Epo, who's fully alone on B until Artemis arrives and there's nothing to block off window. Love being in that position as an AWP where you can just take these different engagements.
A really important kill in that round as well is, look, Jade gets spotted as South Africa. More often than not, they keep trying to boost in the window, probably to mitigate from the fact that the window smoke's missing, but Maddie comes in and trades it, because otherwise Artemis wouldn't be able to be on that line for all that long, and then potentially that short play can come over, that Bibian timing wouldn't have been hit, so it's really important that Maddie gets that kill.
Yeah, Maddie's really been having a hugely impactful Mirage. It's been great to see from her. It's been tested quite a bit over towards A. And again, we're back to the pistols from South Africa. Australia's position. You can see they know what's going on here for the finances. Jay gets a lot of space in apartments, has a teammate by her side. And now Bibian doesn't need a move from Sandwich.
If they keep pushing as well, they're going to find the bomb in a couple of minutes. Instead, they go towards under. Epo's going to keep going. A boost up. Well, you now know. And in fact, Avo's just fallen off. So kills collected by Jade. And as you mentioned, the A defense rooted. Hasn't moved a muscle.
Yeah, Bibian just been tucked in Sandwich the whole time. And she's just waiting for a moment to strike. There it is. So they're doing well against the pistols, making sure not to let this one get expensive. Nice little reveal for Bibi.
This now feels like they're a lot more in control.
Yeah.
It feels like the only way South Africa are going to get around is if Team Australia make a mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, this is with South Africa winning the force buy, right? So they reset Australia financially early. So in terms of like full buy versus full buy, save that one eco round that Australia won, they've been doing pretty consistently. Gracie's AWP not been quite as vocal as it was on Dust 2 either. Maybe a chance, sees one on the cross. Doesn't fire off though. Artemis, given an open avenue. Good trades in middle for the CTs though, and that's the bomb dropped.
This utility is really costing South Africa. At least the utility, I guess, will profit them for one kill. That's classic Caster Curse. Suddenly, it is thrown into a 3 versus 2, but again, we ask that same old question that South Africa have been plagued with this entire first half. How the hell did you get the bomb?
Yeah, I mean, at least Jade's low, so there is potentially a world, but oh, this setup is beautiful. They all just converge on this position top mid. South Africa are anticipating that someone will still be hanging out towards jungle or connector, so they're going to take so long clearing all of this. And we've seen time be such an enemy for them before. Flashbacks, that might be the play through. Should get some info. Oh, this is a bit disjointed.
I guess she don't throw the flash. That's interesting, actually. 2 flashbangs thrown, 5 enemies blinded in that altercation. But the ultimate thief of joy for South Africa is time. 30 seconds left now. Gracie will downgrade to an M4. That Molly has landed really short, and now Artemis gets the info. Both players here, and both players for Australia just tucked. Evo takes the contact. You still don't know about this But maybe Megs can answer it, and she does. How does that fall apart again? How does South Africa keep bailing themselves out of this situation?
Yeah, well played from Megs there to isolate these two fights. They know Artemis is stuck behind the boxes top mid, and she's got the AWP, so she feels uncomfortable. So instead, they try and fight forward into the other players. 1-for-1, but Megs then able to get into that single fight against Artemis where she's favored.
Oh, I thought they didn't know about it because the molly went really short on Artemis.
She's firing up shots.
She did peek, yeah, sure, but I can't believe she then doesn't recommit with the pistol as soon as Epo's taking the contact out mid.
It's a little disjointed. It's impressive with how kind of
It's impressive how wrong that can go.
Yeah, I guess so. It looks a little messy from South Africa to begin with, right, when they're trying to set up how to take control of middle back, but...
And this is a lesson to everyone, but also to me, is that you can never count South Africa out of these rounds, because the tempo I was casting, I was like, oh yeah, well, they're just going to go over here, and it's going to be traded, it's going to be fine. No, it's not. Australia are taking a timeout.
It's funny because I think if they had just disengaged and fallen back towards
fine,
sort
yeah.
of the
Time.
exactly towards the entrance to be ups, that they probably could have just won that up from the clock again.
I will say what the most baffling thing about all of that is that Artemis isn't a TV. She's the one behind the boxes, right?
That does feel like an odd position for her. I mean, you do get the opportunity to fight from kind of both sides there, but it is a tricky spot with the AWP. So listen, it's one fluff round at the end, but it is still a 7-5 half.
It is 7-5, and it is also 5 in a row for Australia in that middle portion once they were able to win that eco round. But again, still don't know whether South Africa are a T or CT. It feels like they do their best work on CT side, so I think 7-5 is a pretty decent half for them, all things considered.
Yeah, and we say Australia are T-sided, so...
Interesting.
However, South Africa do have the right players in the right place. 3. Lying wait on B. It's just a play straight onto the B bomb site. They try and push through, but Megs has taken that double kill, and she might not be done yet. Oh no, she's run out of ammo. And 2 teammates. Maddie is low, but so is Gracie, so the bomb is allowed to be planted.
Yeah, this is tough. The thing is no utility, so it has to be dry fights. It has to be the swing. And immediately, Jade's got the info, but South Africa have got the kills. So it falls to JD. 1 kill is hers, and the low player of Gracie. It's so messy. It's so scrappy. And again, it comes right down to the wire, but Team Australia win the pistol again.
So she got like an inverse magnet shield around her. How did Gracie dodge all those bullets? Everyone's shooting at her and she doesn't stop moving, and somehow she needed 1 shot would have taken her down in that entire retake, and somehow she survives for just long enough, but Jade eventually does find the shot that was necessary.
That's heartbreaking, not once but twice, because Megs gets that double opener, then it's thrown into the 3 versus 2, and they get more kills. It gets thrown the other way. Yes, JD with probably one of the most important clutches of her career to date.
She's already had 3 clutches. Is it like she had that 1v2? She's had 3 1v2s in this best of 3.
Sharing the spotlight with Bibian right now.
And now gets some nice juicy eco frags.
I'm not saying anything anymore.
No?
No, it should be okay.
Yeah, well, you just said something.
Yeah, operatives.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm so nervous. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Yeah,
They got the scaling, they got the position.
Oh no. Just found one, but it's the cleaner, the Mac 10. Time for the ace.
Jade's alive.
Yeah, and she's gone for the ace. Ready? But, oh, look at that. Nice shot to close it too. I love her reactions when she pulls off the round. She just like slides backwards.
Yeah.
She did it in the 1v2 then, and she did it with the ace. Also just a generally lovely person.
This round defines a lot. This round is defining who stays, who goes. If South Africa win this first full buy, it's game on. If Team Australia take them down, we are looking at panic stations, potentially for the Saffers.
As the missed window smoke for the Australians this time.
Oh, come on, guys.
No one is landing it right now. Molly, good, but just forces them forward. Meg's at least able to get that trade and can't make it the double, but surely someone will. It's Jess who swings through from the window and gets to. Nade is on the trade. But the T's are in an uncomfy spot because they've now lost the bomb and they're juggling weapons in ladder.
Yeah, I mean, give Vivian the AK, give her the boost. She's going to see over the top of this smoke now and will be rewarded from it. Avo removed, you've got a minute to work with. Yes, you've got to go and get the bomb, but you can attempt this from every single direction possible.
Yeah, so many different ways you can approach this, and as long as they just wait before they do it, South Africa are going to have that doubt in the back of their head and they won't be hyper-focused on one position.
They've got the utility as well, whereas South Africa don't. There's no more smokes for blocks.
Bibian has gone all the way around. So Maddie is still trying to show her presence here, and this is where all that fake comes through. You can see Gracie is hedging her bets and looking towards apartments instead, which means the window play can come through, and she almost wins it by herself. Bibian is there to close. Double digits for Australia.
Yeah, that's really cool as well because Bibian dropped off as short and made an audio cue that she was going towards under. That's why Gracie was looking there the whole time. Resets, goes through con, takes her time, and Maddie's just spamming to at least get the attention of 50% of the defense. I do think that round seals the game.
It does feel that way. These rounds can be threatening from South Africa, but you're anticipating 11. Which will mean that Australia will have plenty of opportunities to try and lock this one in. A playoff spot, what these teams have been fighting for. So Meg's in a good position, but the fire completely negates her. Looking simplistic, looking like it's going to be this B. There has been a push out A, but it's going to come too late. Pixar gets one nice kill. Gracie finds one in middle. Maybe it's not too late.
You've still got two players defending. You've also got that rifle recovered by Pixar now. Megs has slid back into this position, and they are walking straight back into Avo.
Oh dear, Avo, will she be anticipated? She will be spotted. The decision to fall back actually works out for Australia.
What's interesting here as well is they can just pause, right? You got a minute left, that they can just leave it, but that's because Gracie's pushing top middle, she leaves.
For all the praise we throw for South Africa for how responsive they are and how quick they are to react, that can sometimes be punishing if Australia slow down like they did here.
I got really confused there because the 8 I thought was the bomb, but no, it's on their back.
Yeah.
I'm like taking 4 steps towards the monitor to figure that one out. 35 seconds. It will be this B finish, but it's a relocation.
There's a big gap though. No one is covering from connectors. So they can just walk all the way through short. Megs is the closest responder, and she's got a deagle in the window.
Yeah, it surprised me that Pixar's not even just given this a cursory glance here or there. 15 seconds left. Meg still can deny everything.
She needs to get at least one here. Can't do it. Artemis peeks in. That's the bomb site secured.
Save, surely.
Slightly risky plunge. She calls over everyone to make sure it goes down. South Africa don't save, Brandon. But surely they do here.
AKs.
Gracie's got no armor.
It's 2 AKs, no
Guys.
armor.
I mean, they got to buy next round anyway. They need the rounds, but you're not going to get this one. No way.
Important. And again, Australia, they're just going through the motions. Really good macro there just to make sure that they are all together. They've got the bigger picture. And South Africa in these moments, in the mid-round, especially on Mirage, it has looked a little bit chaotic. It has looked like they are just missing out key facts, key pieces of info. And I think where Gracie's pushed top mid sort of 25 seconds before, they feel like that's enough of a play where Australia won't reset.
Bibi 22 for 8, Jade is 18 for 11. And Gracie gets 0 for now. That's Bibi removed, a big frag.
But that's not where the ensemble of Team Australia are coming from. Instead, they are outpouring straight in towards A. Gracie gets caught by Epo, trying to overextend, trying to find another kill. So it's Honours even, it's the bomb down.
Yeah, it's an unnecessary extension, isn't it? Now it's even with the bomb down, Smoke's lit at the feed. Australia don't have a strong post-plant position. That's, I guess, the one thing. They're going to have to fall back into Palace and to ramp, and there's still a fair bit of utility here for the CTs. They flushed Artemis forward. Jade will get the kill back onto Avo, but into the open she goes. Jess is collected, and Meg's another. No space given in that post plant, and South Africa just suffocate them.
Yeah, that was really impressive because it was instantaneous. Molly goes in towards Firebox, flashbang straight over the top at CT, and everyone is fighting forward. It is so uncomfortable for Team Australia. You feel like Jade, she walked out of Sandwich to try and take the fight into CT to bait the player under Palace, but there's just too many pieces at work there. So at least that is a step in the right direction for South Africa. Plenty of rounds to play with, but only 2 mistakes can be made.
Yeah, they can buy this one. I think they're just talking about how they want to approach this round. Oh, Artemis is not buying. Okay. Yeah, lost bonus 1900. I don't know. Why wouldn't you buy this? They've got a full buy if they wanted to.
They got a full buy next round.
Yeah, but they got a full buy this round. What? Okay, they worked it out. It's all good. The AK gets dropped. The full buy comes through.
What's the play here, though? You got Mac 10, you want to go fast, but when they've been sort of injecting the pace into these rounds, especially out of B-Abs, it hasn't been working.
To be fair, it has been the one bomb site they've been able to get into, at least, though. It hasn't been the cleanest.
Look at how fast this is, by the way, out of Megs. Normally the B anchor player, she's now top mid.
They're just charging in. They're just going for the full commit. The B rush is the call. Good damage done on the defense, but they're getting overwhelmed. Megs deep in short though, not anticipating. 2 players in that position. Flushed out by Bibian. Bomb down, 3 on 3. Still low HP on a couple of players. And plenty of utility for the CTs. This push from Gracie. She's coming with the AWP through apartments. Currently smoked off, will throw the molly forward, not going to disrupt Bibian's position, but Jess is disrupting everybody else. Oh, it's all Jess. A brilliant retake. Australia just can't get it done.
I just don't understand how Australia are so disjointed. They've set up crossfire specifically to counter all of these positions, and one by one they break them. They just keep jiggling into the angles, keep jiggling into Jess. They just feel like they need to get this trade, and they can't do it. They're the ones that are succumbing to all of this pressure, and that was the buy. Now it's an eco, and suddenly, again, South Africa can close the gap.
Yeah, I just don't know how that falls apart. You've got an AWP retaking through the apartments. It feels like all the positions look good, just not tradable, and Jess just gets all these frags, every single one.
And back to another execute. Objective, get the bomb down for Team Australia.
Gonna be tricky. 3 defenders here, and Avo's position. Oh, only good for the one. Jess actually helped out by the smoke that lands. Bibi up to? She's walking through. Artemis has recovered an M4, and yeah, you're not expecting Bibi. Only good for 1 though. Lisa trade is there. Artemis 1 on 2, plants the bomb, just about. A consolation prize. Bomb goes down, 3 kills. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's fantastic. Given the money situation of South Africa, you walk into that with Tech 9, you come away with a bomb plant, 3 kills. At least they recover the AWP. That's the saving grace there for South Africa. But rebuys continuously, it's all adding up.
They're slowly grinding their way back into this. Australia getting the bomb down. You can see those diffuse symbols on the round distribution.
I'm just really surprised that you know that South Africa are going to be aggressive, they're going to be proactive. Why are you not holding for it? This is the first time we've seen Gracie come over in connector in towards middle, but Australia respond immediately. Gracie dealt with. Bibian will get the trade on Jess.
Okay, you can just see she's in her element in those positions, just dodging all the utility, ready for each engagement.
Look at Bibian now as well. She's just gone in towards jungle. And whilst the bomb needs to be recovered, she's got all of this space. She's the loophole, and Maddie is out A.
It was in like 2 seconds she managed to get from middle in towards jungle. She's holding off the rotations. They can just walk in. The site's been cleared. Avo is so passive. She might get an opportunity here. Almost. Maddie is there. Bibian catches off that rotation. That's what she was looking for. Maddie overwhelms Avo. This looks to be series point. And it will be.
This looks to be Bibian saying, I've had enough of this game. I have had enough of South Africa trying to force the comeback. Instead, she forces and creates her own problems and her own issues. Walking into jungle, taking the space. At the same time, Maddie pushes out towards Palace, and it's so passive from South Africa because once they've lost the mid space, they're really hoping that there's going to be a reaction. There is, it's just one they're not ready for. And this is what you defend your tournament life with. A couple of MP9s, but everyone else, at least they've got M4s.
Yeah, the repercussion of the damage done previously. All those bomb plants, all those bomb sites breached. Maddie trying to angel. Jess doesn't want anything to do with it, decides to fall back, both players do. Bit slower in middle this time, utility thrown each way, but it's all because Avo is pushing, and this timing could be huge.
It depends where she goes. If she goes back towards ramp, like Maddie's guaranteed, but also you don't know about ramp, so Heart Jess needs to make sure she's not exposed. Meanwhile, Gracie's having these 1v1s. Flashbang, dodged, kill, collected, and that sets up Avo for ramp.
Now they do know Maddie's here because she was dueling with Jess before, right? But now they're starting to scale in, and it's not going to be, oh, it is too late. She'll still get the kill, but loses her teammate. That timing just eludes them. Artemis is low, it's not done yet. But they have to retake from middle. Bomb isn't down, but should be momentarily.
Where'd you plant for?
They're actually gonna fight. They want to just confirm it right here. Bibi Yang wanted her 30 bomb, all in the open. The Megs 1v3, surely spotted. It's Artemis to confirm. Australia go to the playoffs.
Yeah, they go to the playoffs. They make sure